All right, we're broadcasting live from my wonderful living room. Where I'm really excited for this review. It's going to be a first time, and I'm trying several new things out. As you can see, I have our beloved Huxley Bear, our as we like to say, our foster fail. Our his birthday's next month. He's going to be turning 15. We have our beloved Huxley as a special guest. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I just stated. This week's review is going to be really interesting, very fascinating. We're doing things a little differently. For starters, and I got some Vivaldi's, well, here, I'll just go over everything. Well, what are we doing new this week's review? For starters, we're filming inside of my wonderful. No, 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 don't knock this over. I'm going to have to hold him. I got a tripod at Five Below to hold my phone while I do these reviews, and Huxley wanted to knock it over, so no, Huxley. But so we're doing the new camera angle, filming in the living room. I have 14 of some of my favorite Antonio Vivaldi's violin concertos going on in the background here. Good stuff. Let me turn it down. So I got some background music, and I want to give a big thanks to my anonymous but good friend. He asked to remain anonymous. So he actually gave me some whiskey review, or excuse me, some whiskey samples from his own personal collection. Thank you to my anonymous friend and supporter of the channel. What he did is he got some samples from his collection and put them in these. He washed these out, he labeled them, and something I'm running into with the channel, it's a good problem to have. I've been a collector since we bought the house in 2018. I'm actually at the point, ladies and gentlemen, where I'm starting to just about run out of room for my collection. So a good buddy of mine, and again, thank you to my friend, he wanted to remain anonymous, but he goes, hey, I got some samples for you. I'll just, send you some samples. Well, thank you again. And free whiskey samples? Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. Huxley, what do you think about that? Oh, he's such a cute guy. So again, thank you to my friend. So what we are about to try, ladies and gentlemen, is the Balvenie 14-year Caribbean cask aged single malt Scotch. So it spends time in American oak, and then I believe it's the last 4 to 6 years that it's a 14-year. And I should have done more research on it, but because I don't personally own the bottle, I just skimmed the surface, if you will. But I do know that they finish it for 4 to 6 years in Caribbean rum casks. So I'm really excited to go ahead and review this. And I know I repeat myself, but I'm very grateful and appreciative of my buddy who is remaining anonymous that gave me the wonderful sample to try. All right, man, and I like this new camera angle. This is interesting here. Now that I got a tripod, welcome to my casa here. So let's go to the nose, shall we? You guys know me, I'm a talker. Oh my goodness. Wow. I've got to behave myself here, but this smells, pardon my language, I'm sorry. This smells damn good. So I think I'm getting on the nose. I think I'm definitely getting some tropical fruit going on. I think I'm getting some wood spice. I think I'm getting some vanilla, and I think I'm getting some caramel. But ladies and gentlemen, wow. This is very good. Pairs very well with this violin concerto from Vivaldi. I need to make it back downtown to the Kansas City Symphony. I love me some classical music, especially from the Baroque era. So wow, a very decadent and inviting nose, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's dive into the meat and potatoes of the review here, shall we? If it involves beautiful women, free whiskey samples, bacon, barbecue, Star Trek, bird watching, or Stargate SG-1 or Stargate Atlantis or good books, you can count me in. If it doesn't involve any of that, I'm not interested. That was just about at least once in every review I do, I've got to say something that's very Scottish. So there you go. I just did that. I just said that because I'm Scottish. Actually, don't tell anyone. I'm roughly 50%. The rest is German and English. All right, let me dive in here. Not that anyone cares, but my unnecessary commentary is just a part of this channel. But man, this smells decadent. Come to Papa. That is very delicious. Normally when I pause like that, it's a good reaction. So I'm getting tropical fruit, maybe like some mango, maybe some, love the music. Uh, wow. Let me turn it down a little bit because I want to make sure, I like the background music. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. So mango, maybe some passion fruit. So mango, passion fruit, maybe some cherries. So you're getting a lot of those tropical fruit notes. I'm getting vanilla. I think I'm getting some caramel. I think I'm getting a little bit of wood spice. It's very delicious. It's very decadent, and it's incredibly smooth. I'm really, if I may be my own worst critic, there's a lot of good things I cover when I do these reviews, but one thing I need to get better about is describing the finish, because when you really start getting into the fine whiskey world, especially scotches, the finish becomes a very big deal. And yes, sometimes I touch on it, but that's something I need to work on. But yeah, I think this finish is kind of like a light, but it's a crisp, fast, decadent finish. And I think at the end I get a little bit of the wood spice. So again, tropical fruit, caramel, vanilla. Oh, I forgot to say this, a little bit of toffee. The tropical fruit, it's very decadent. It's extremely good. Now, I'm about to do an interesting experiment too. And again, this is just going to be an adventure of a review, ladies and gentlemen, so buckle your seatbelt. I have a... That's so good. That's so delicious. So I have a Caribbean aged, I reviewed it 2 years ago. I got it at Total Wine. I think it's a 12-year, and it's one of Total Wine. It's one of Total Wine, their flagship brand, called Glen Fohdry. I think it's like Fohdry, Caribbean cask. I reviewed it 2 years ago. And I'm interested to go grab that bottle from my study, which is also the cat's leisure room. The cats hang out. We have like cat toys in there and stuff, and a ton of bookshelves. And it's a little bit, my record player. It's a bit disheveled right now, but I'll get it cleaned up. What was I saying? Yes. So where I have my whiskey collection, I have that bottle, and I just got to thinking it might be interesting, even though it's a different brand, it's a different age statement. And actually, I'm going to have to research. I think William Grant and Sons also makes that. William Grant and Sons is the guy, the namesake, the family that started the legendary Glenfiddich, and they also own Balvenie. They own Balvenie that makes this. So I'm interested to see how that would taste compare, But I'd have to get up, I'd have to physically go in the other room, get the bottle, get another glass, and hope that my cats don't knock this over. So this is going to be an adventure. Excuse my language. This is damn good. Listen to music. I'll be right back. We're going to do an experiment. So, if you guys go back on my channel, I'm hoping I can wrap this video up in the next 10 minutes, but I have already reviewed this. I have already reviewed this. I bought this 2 years ago and have 75% of it left. This is the Glen Foundry Durach Caribbean Speyside Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. I've already reviewed it, and I was wrong. This is not, wow. This is not made by William. Can you guys hear me? Let me turn that music down. So I thought this was made by William Grant and Sons. It's not. No, no, no. It's made by the Glen Foundry Malt Company, Bellshill, Scotland. And it's a very sassy 47. So that's around, what is that? 45 and... Can I do math today? 40 and 40 is 80. 45, 45 is not. So this is around 92, 93. And it's a limited release. But this is around 92, 93 proof. And it's non-chill filtered. So let's see, guys. How does the Glen Foundry Durach Caribbean Speyside single malt Scotch whiskey that's aged in Caribbean, that's aged and matured in Caribbean casks, rum casks, how does it pair with the 14-year Balvenie that's also aged in Caribbean rum casks? We shall see. I got this 2 years ago, and look at how much I have, ladies and gentlemen. I have like 2/3 of this bottle left, and I got it 2 years ago. Now this glass is clean enough. The alcohol will kill anything that's in it. Now let me do a proper palate cleanse with some water. Wow. So licorice, maybe plum, licorice, plum. Darn ad on YouTube. Sorry guys, you don't want to hear the ad. So I think I'm getting some licorice. I think I'm getting some plum. I think I'm getting some cherry. Maybe some vanilla, some hazelnut, and some coriander, which is kind of interesting. I would not expect that in this nose. And I haven't even had a sip of this in probably 9 months. That's the thing about having an extensive collection. You get to the point where you just have, anymore I try and have just 2 drinks and be done. And I'd say about 8 out of 10 times I drink in moderation, 7 to 8. But hey, no one's perfect, right? We're all human, you know. So let me dive in here to a taste. Wow, it's very similar. Wow, okay. So the primary difference, the Balvenie is a little sweeter to me, a little sweeter. And the Glen Foundry here, which they don't say an age statement, which is interesting because the Balvenie is a 14-year. And in 4 to 6 years, they finish it in the Caribbean rum casks. And this doesn't have an age statement, so I really am kind of winging it here. But they're both of these they start them out in American oak, and then they mature and finish them in the Caribbean rum. So this is bottled at a higher strength. And I've talked a lot the past 7 years of this channel, a lot, about non-chill filtered. It's a technique that master distillers do that doesn't delineate its nature. I love that word, I just can't spell it, delineate. And basically, it's a higher, sassier proof, and it's, what am I trying to say here? There are definitely a lot of pros and cons. Oh, the music's back, no ads. There's a lot of pros and cons for the non-chill filtered and also chill filtered, okay? It just depends on what your cup of tea is. I prefer non-chill filtered, but some of my favorites are actually chill filtered. So again, it's yin and yang. There's a lot of factors in the fine whiskey world. So this is interesting, guys. I think the Glen Foundry Caribbean, it's a bit more sassy. Let me lean back here. I'm sorry. It's a bit more sassier. It's a bit more untamed. It's a bit, and I hope my cat doesn't jump up here and knock over the tripod. He's eyeing it. No, Huxley. This has got more of a coconut and a black currant and maybe like a hazelnut and a dark plum vibe going on, and it's quite sassy. And it's well balanced, okay? I forgot a little over 2 years ago what I gave this, but just having it again for the first time in 7 to 10 months, I really would stick with a B plus for the Glen Foundry. I would put it somewhere between an 84 and an 88, so a B plus. And then this Balvenie, wow. The Balvenie here, let me have another sip of it. Remember, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. The Balvenie, I feel like, is a little smoother. I feel like it's a little bit well-rounded in all the things I judge, you know. I feel like it's a little bit sweeter. Whereas in the fine Scotch world, people sometimes throw this out there as a generalized statement. I feel like the Glen Foundry has more of an earthy acidity to it. Now, I'm not suggesting it tastes like dirt. But again, when you read Whiskey Advocate, when you attend tastings, when you're a connoisseur for years, you'll get to that point that you kind of understand the vocabulary. And this is my subjective opinion, okay? But they're both good. I think the Glen Foundry, I would give an 84 to an 88, a B plus. And this Balvenie, the Balvenie's going to get an 88. No, I'm going to say an 87 to a 91. So a B plus to an A minus. I think I'm being generous to both of these drams. And again, you know I've been on a single malt Scotch kick lately, which admittedly is my favorite, that and the Japanese whiskeys. I need to do a diversified portfolio of different whiskey types. But something I love about single malts is the incredible amount of flavor diversity and just very wide repertoire of flavor profiles, of noses. I mean, with bourbons, and I love bourbon. Hey, Huxley, say hello. Say hello, Huxley, to our viewers. He's one of our 3 beloved indoor cats, and then I take care of the neighborhood stray and semi-feral cats. That reminds me, in a future video, when I do a review of a really expensive whiskey, like a Macallan 15 or 18 someday, I want to have a QR link in the video to where if you would like, you don't have to, but if you want, there'd be a link to donate to one of the animal rescues that we support, or one of the bird conservation organizations that we support. But I'm getting the cart ahead of the horse here, okay? That's just plans for down the road on how I can take my love of fine whiskey and turn that towards philanthropy and charity with animal rescues, which is something that's really important to me. Okay, so what was I saying here? I got a little bit off, a little bit. Oh wow, this is going to be over 20 minutes. This is going to take me 100 million years to upload. But these are both good. And again, I was just talking about the sheer amount of diversities of single malt scotches. And to each his own. You know, I mean, a lot of people I talk to are like, I'm more of a bourbon guy, I'm more of an Irish whiskey guy. I love all whiskey types, but single malt scotches are my very favorite. Well, I was about to say something that was a little bit chauvinistic, but I'm not going to say it. It really wasn't too inappropriate, but the thing about being a Scottish man, but then also being a Tibetan Buddhist that loves Jesus, it's when you throw all that together, what my personality is like, it's like if a wolf was a vegan, right? Now, obviously, in real life, a wolf would not be a vegan, but the point is, I'm always constantly battling against my own nature. I've been reading a lot of Plato, Aristotle, David Hume, who is widely considered the most important and prolific English philosopher. Well, he was from Scotland, but close enough for horseshoes, of the 18th century. And, you know, and anyways, I'm into Tibetan Buddhist philosophy and all that stuff. But I guess mankind is always fighting against his own nature. But I need to stop talking philosophy here. That's not why you guys watch the channel. But it's just a tradition for me to ramble a little bit, you know. But again, this is the Balvenie 14-year old, finished in Caribbean rum. It's very good. You get those toffee notes. You get some caramel. You get the mango and the passion fruit. It's very good. It's very delicious. A little bit of wood spice. And then with this guy, it's extremely tasty. And you're getting the licorice, I think some of the coconut. You're getting some plum and cherry notes. And it has more of an earthy kind of complex acidity to it. But they're both good. I give the Balvenie, like I said, B plus to a A. Actually, I give it a B minus. Excuse me. This is good Scotch. I give the Balvenie an A minus, and I give the Glen Foundry here, like I said, a B plus. Now, I got this 2 years ago at Total Wine. I believe it was around 60. Well, it was around, man, I don't have that receipt anymore. Let's just say it was around $60. And the Balvenie 14, I've really noticed the past 16 months that the prices in my area are fluctuating. I don't know if it's inflation. I don't know if it's tariffs. I don't know what it is. But the prices are going like this on some of the fine liquor. The Balvenie is going to be around $70 to $75. Now, 7 to 8 years ago, I remember seeing it around $54.99, $49.99 to $55.99, roughly. But again, prices are fluctuating right now. But again, this is your neighborhood-friendly Scottish whiskey hobbit. I'm glad I didn't get too carried away on philosophy there, but I love philosophy and philosophy of religion. Beautiful women are magic, but in my opinion, be dedicated and true to your wife for your entire life, you know. My wife, she's the best thing to happen to me, and I'm going to be loyal and true to her until the day that I die. And when I say stuff like that, you know I'm 50% Scottish. I had something else I was going to say, but I've rambled too much here. Treat everybody the way that you want to be treated. Be polite, kind, and thoughtful. Nobody's perfect. I know I'm sure as heck not. But do the very best that you can to put the needs of others before yourself. But also, faster horses, younger women, older whiskey, and more money. I think I got that right. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, real quick, guys, this is what the case looked like. Isn't that a pretty... No, that was upside down. Whoops. Let's try this. This is what the case of the bottle looked like on the Glen Foundry. Pretty good stuff. But ladies and gentlemen... Ooh, come here, Huxley. He's a cuddle bug. He's such a good boy. Huxley, say hi. You're on TV. Huxley. Huxley. Oh, he's such a cutie. He's such a cutie. Well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I would like to thank everybody for watching. I would like to thank everybody that consistently watches and supports the channel. And to all of my subscribers, thank you so much. I know I've been getting a decent amount of people, but I know in my inner circle, but have been giving me some positive feedback and have been telling me that they really enjoy these reviews. And thank you so much, guys. I'm honored by the kind words, and you know, I'm just trying to mix things up on the channel. I'm trying to make the channel better. Again, that's why we've kind of moved everything inside today, and we got the classical music, and this is probably the 4th time I've said it, but a big thank you to my buddy that's been giving me these samples. If anybody else out there, I mean, hey, I buy everything myself for my collection. Huxley. But if... Oh, he wants to play bite now. Ow, he's sinking his claws into me. I love Huxley, but he gets a little wild. He likes to kind of... Ow! Oh, okay, okay. Hey, buddy, you're gonna go down here. If anybody out there has any samples of any whiskey that they'd like for me to try, would like for me to try and review on the channel, or any ideas, I would be honored and humbled. And I would be happy to return the favor by also giving you guys some things to try as well. Well, God bless, guys. Be a kind human. Treat all living things with kindness and respect. This is probably the 2nd or 3rd longest review in the 7-year history of the channel. Oh, look, now he's a sweetie again. But God bless. Thank you so much for watching. And as they say in the old country, sláinte. God bless. And thank you guys again, my special co-host, our beloved Huxley Bear. This is your neighborhood-friendly Scottish whiskey hobbit. I'm signing out. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. I'm really excited for everything I have planned for the channel this year. Sláinte.